Now it's time to talk about the elephant in my discography, which is my debut album. It's really embarrassing, but for history's sake, let's talk about the mindset. I was making it when I was in high school, and in that era, my classmates were mega fans of John Schmidt and Lindsey Sterling, and there were some that were into Tina Guo. It was meant to get the attention of that audience. I remember it was being made on the family computer where it had a 1 hour limit thanks to the parental controls. And I figured that piano covers were quick and easy to make, and 1 hour a day, that's not enough to hone in on your craft as an electronic musician. So for the footage and photos that I used in the videos that I made for the album, a lot of it was either stock footage, some stock photos. Some of the stuff was recorded in Mexico because that was sentimental to me and because I figured I wouldn't be back for a while. It was released in 2017, and back in that day, I didn't have any money to get it put on Spotify and all that, so it was limited to SoundCloud and YouTube. Then I did eventually release it onto Spotify and the likes for history's sake. For obvious reasons, it didn't do me any favors as an electronic musician or as a piano musician. My biggest regret is that almost all the tracks sound too programmed. I also didn't get my foot in the door for the piano guys or Tina Guo demographic. It took 1.5 years for it to accumulate at least 5,000 plays. So Hikari was supposed to be a rehash of Nuvole Bianche, which was my first successful track, and it kind of failed. Maybe it's because it wasn't as sentimental as other covers. I made the assumption that Kingdom Hearts fans would eat up any iteration of Hikari. I always liked the opening melody of Cool by Gwen Stefani. If I could redo this cover, I would get rid of all of the pitch bends and probably make it orchestral. With Melodies of Life, I admit I was pandering to 90s and 2000s video game nostalgia. I figured that Final Fantasy IX was such a beloved video game that enough people would eat up the cover. Turned out I was very, very wrong. After 1.5 years, it didn't even break 200 plays across all formats. So the original by Enya is one of my all-time favorite songs. I can't bear to listen to this version anymore. The only reason why I bothered covering J'invite de toi was just because it had a line in French that sounded kind of epic. You're probably getting sick of me complaining about all the other tracks, but I used to be pretty proud of this one, but the dynamics sounded kind of forced, and I'm more proud of this more industrial version that I made years later. Kiss the Rain, I have very fond memories of, although I'm not that proud of it, I'll admit. Most people say that their favorite song by Yuruma is River Flows in You, but I am not most people. My favorite song by Yuruma is Maybe, and that's actually one of the covers that I'm the most proud of. Nuvole Bianche was my first piano cover ever. It used to be my #1 hit, and I'm still very proud of it to this day. Saltwater used to be my #1 biggest hit until I made my cover of Mulan. It was the only half-decent piano rock song I ever made. It's the same cover, but just with a kick drum. Need I say any more? I'm not very ashamed of this cover, but I'm not very proud of it either, and it sounds too programmed. Moral of the story, don't settle for the quick and easy path.